Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. This time I bring you the review of the add-in, the MONSTERVERSE, and many will remember that on this channel, we have uploaded all the updates from a very similar mod. We're talking about Kaiju Craft, bringing a bunch of new titans, but fused in a very peculiar way with other Minecraft creatures. For example, if we fuse a Warden and a Godzilla, we'll be giving us a Wardenzilla or an Iron Golem. With King Kong, we would be giving Golem Kong. I think it's pretty clear now, but this add-on will be much more focused to bring in the most precise way to the Kaijus we all know. But well before starting, let me ask you to please subscribe and leave your like, since that will be helping me a lot to continue uploading content like this every week. And if you are not entirely convinced, you can take a look at the channel. I'm sure you might like something there. But well, without anything else to say, let's go for the video. Well, first of all, this add-in, it's called MONSTERVERSE. Yeah, the truth is that they didn't kill themselves too much in the name, but it is justified since, as I said, it is one of the representations most loyal to this franchise. Well then, what this mod will be adding to us is the following. We will have more than 20 new creatures, each one straight from the MONSTERVERSE, in addition to some improvements to be able to power up some Kaijus. Because yes, these can be improved even more. So good, let's first go for the simplest creatures, or those that we could say are stuffed creatures. First we will have the Titan Rodden. This will be a flying creature with enormous life and attack. And as a curious fact, the creatures we will be seeing in this, there are a lot of them, more powerful than the Kaiju Craft add-in. In case people were wondering, and another thing also very important, is that if we end up with any of these, they won't be leaving us. Absolutely nothing. And also, on some occasions, these will not disappear, but his body will remain on the ground. The following will be 3 variants of Monkey. In this case, we will have Zuko, a large mono, and this kind of guard that we saw in the movie. This one will already have a very similar height to what are becoming big titans, such as Godzilla or Kong, while in Zuko's case, yes, this one will be much smaller. Okay, now yes, let's go for creatures that are really worth it. And following the path of the monkeys, we will have the Scar King, and even has some gestures like laughing. A pretty good detail. The truth is, and as you will notice, we'll have a height much larger than the previous titans. Could easily measure more than 100 blocks. And be careful, this is where the interesting part comes. Well, if we get it, an end crystal, and we get it, right-click on any of these titans will allow us to control it. And the best of all is that each titan will have its own attack bar. For example, we are going to select the first attack. In this one, we will be using the whip. In the second, it will be a slightly more acrobatic attack. And you're not going to deny that the animations, they are very well made, okay? The next attack will be a strong attack. Let's see what the eye does. Let's see it again. Okay, let's see, and wow, it does a monkey flip. It actually looks pretty cool, huh? And finally, we would have this other one. And let's see, wow, it turns out that the monkey simply knows how to do tricks. And be careful that each titan will have its own roar ability. Obviously, depending on the titan, it can be much more powerful. And apparently, if we also activate the sprint ability, will allow us to move much faster. And finally, finish with the basic skills. We will have this last one, which is like a kind of camera that will allow us to move away or closer depending on our taste. And now to be able to exit, we will only have to press shift. And so, as I told you, each titan will have its own attack bar. But be careful, this gentleman has a very special ability depending on event is in front of the Titan Shinmo. And everyone, we will remember the relationship these had in the movie. Well, if we get on again, an electric Scar King, we will have this special ability to command Shinmo, accessing to this new menu to help us in the battle. And watch out for something else. Very interesting thing about this add-on is that unlike others, the attacks of the Kaijus, they won't be destroying at least the energy attacks. Okay, let's move on to the next Titan. This time, it is one of the favorites of many. We are talking of the powerful Mecha Godzilla.
Y bueno,
And well,
ya
since
que
we are
estamos,
here,
vamos a
let's check who
comprobar
of the two
quién
is
de
the
los
most
dos
powerful.
es el más poderoso,
Given
ya que
that,
qué
what would
sería
it
de
be
un
from a
video de
video of
estos
these?
sin
Not
una
a
buena
good
pelea de
fight.
Kaijus.
Kaijus.
Y
It would
pareciera
seem
que el
that
Mechagodzilla tiene la
Godzilla has the
ventaja
advantage
gracias a
thanks to
sus
his energy
poderes de
powers.
energía. Y
And
efectivamente,
Scar King was
el
not.
Scar King no fue ningún
No rival
tipo
for
de
this
rival para este.
It's definitely not a good day to be Mexican. The next one will be Tiamat, a kind of sea monster that we saw in the movie Godzilla X Kong, a rather dangerous species of sea snake. But obviously, it is not by far the most dangerous Kaiju of all. So I think it's time to take out to the heavyweights. Well, the next callus we will be seeing will be the mighty King Ghidorah. And possibly, one of the Kaijus, bigger than this mob, will be bringing us. And even with just his presence, it will start to rain. Something very interesting about this is that if we manage to control it, among his skills, we will be able to fly. And you are not going to deny me that flying on the back of one of the Kaijus, more powerful, it's pretty cool. And yes, very pretty and everything. But now, how are we supposed to defeat him? Well then, the time has come to bring the king of the monsters. We are talking about Godzilla. And it is clear, how are we supposed to lose? Now, the base Godzilla will have 1,690,000 hit points. And with a base attack of 35,000. And yes, I'm not joking. This creature really has these stats. Okay people, let's make bets. Who do you think is going to be the Titan that will win? In this fight, we are talking about what is Godzilla base. Then I won't know how to tell you. If he would be able to defeat King Ghidorah. We are aware that a simple stomp of one of these creatures would be capable of killing us. Wow, it looks like Godzilla base has lost. Apparently Godzilla base was no match for King Ghidorah. But how would they feel if I told them that he can return to life? And if we somehow we place a Mothra spawn egg here, will cause the particles to start sticking to it, and it will only be a matter of time before it can be revived. And obviously, in a way, much more powerful, making him reach his Godzilla state. Nuclear term. Now, you can see when I told you that this Adon, it is very faithful to the movies. So the time has come for round 2.
Y nada más comenzar, el primer ataque que suelta ya es un estallido atómico. En este estado, las estadísticas de Godzilla son 3.798.500 puntos de vida, y con un ataque base de 38.500. Pero su ataque más poderoso, el pulso termonuclear, es de 870.000 de daño. Y ojo, ojo, que parece que lo va a hacer otra vez. Wow, parece que eso fue más que suficiente para terminar con King Ghidorah. Yo creo que quedó más que claro por qué le dicen a Godzilla el rey de los monstruos.
And be careful, as a curious fact, once he manages to defeat his rival in the thermonuclear state, we'll return to normal. And be careful that this will not only have a transformation. Well, to improve it to the next level, we will need radioactive enhancement. And we approach this and right-click on it. This will begin to overload, until transforming into the powerful Godzilla. Supercharged, but be careful, things don't end here. Well, there will still be one more improvement. If we right-click on Godzilla with this, supercharged, this one will fall on the ground, and it will begin to absorb the radioactive rays from the sky. And after a few moments, this will become the powerful Godzilla evolved. Godzilla's transformation, most powerful to date. This one will not have any kind of rival, and yes, people, the time has finally come. Well now, we will talk about all the variants of Kong that we have so far. Well, first we have the classic Kong, and will have a very similar appearance to that of his first appearance in the MONSTERVERSE. And obviously, he won't have any kind of weapon, simply his brute force. And be careful that just like Godzilla has the ability to improve itself. Well, if we approach this one with a battle axe, and we buried her in front of him, this one will pick it up in a sequence very similar to that of the film. And while their hit points will not increase at all, your damage will do it, reaching a total of 41,000. And be careful, as a curious fact, we will have two variants of the Kong with an axe. On the one hand, we will have the normal Kong, that his fur will be a little lighter, while the other will have a fur much more grayish and a slightly longer beard. This more than anything represents its antiquity and wisdom, and well apart from that, it's just a little wink. of the author continuing with his evolutions. If he were to fall in battle, we will be able to revive it. For that, we will need this remote control. If we get close enough, and we give it to him, right-click, with this, we will be summoning the same flying machine from the movie, which will adhere to your arm like a gauntlet. This time, not only will it improve its damage, making it reach 65,300, but now, his life will be more than 1,005,500. And if that were not enough, we can still improve it a little more, giving him back his classic axe, where now it will indeed have terrifying damage. 89,300 like this. That now that we finally have the most powerful Kong, we are going to place the most powerful Godzilla in front of us. So finally, see who of the two would be the winner in a fight.
Y ojo, tal como lo esperábamos, Godzilla es el primero en comenzar la confrontación. Y sin esperar más, lanza su poderoso rayo atómico. Y ojo, parece que Kong no puede moverse. Intenta pegar un salto y golpear a Godzilla en la cabeza, pero parece que no le dio. Parece que esto está pintando muy mal para Kong. No quisiera tener que decir esto, pero parece que la pelea ya tiene un ganador.
And well, why should we deceive ourselves? The result was quite obvious. How much I like Kong. It is impossible. At the gate, to a lizard, mutant reactor, and that already is a curious fact. If these two are close, in the company of Mothra, both will stop fighting just like the original movie. And yes, I know I've been saying it a lot, but it is the truth. This mod has quite a few movie references, from mechanics such as Kaiju appearances. So we could say that this is the side Ultimate Monsterverse. I personally would say yes. As we saw, it is the most faithful and attached to what the franchise has been. You see, I'm not going to lie to you. I've only seen the last three. But now tell me, what did you think of this add-in? Which of the Kaijus we saw was your favorite? Is that they dare to put in soon Godzilla's new green color appearance? Or you can also tell me if you would like me to bring more add-ins of this style. I'll be reading your comments on the channel. And well guys, I hope you liked it. That they had fun, that's the most important thing for me. If you liked the video, I would ask you to please leave your like. You will comment what you thought of this video. What other types of videos would you like to see on the channel? And also subscribe, that is very important. Remember that no one can beat Godzilla. And see you in the next video, bye.